In the small, isolated town of Millstone, Emily Carter was known as a meticulous history professor who never entertained superstition. But everything changed the day she found the box. Buried beneath the floorboards of the abandoned St. Mark's Church, the blackened, rusted artifact bore strange carvings. Intrigued, Emily brought it home to study, dismissing the ominous warnings of the locals who claimed it was cursed. That first night, as Emily sat in her dimly lit study, she heard faint whispers. They seemed to seep from the walls, though her house had always been silent. Shaking her head, she attributed it to fatigue. But the whispers grew louder as the nights passed, forming words in an ancient, guttural language she couldn't understand. The unease in her home became palpable. Furniture shifted on its own, and shadows danced where there was no light. Emily began waking up in odd places, her clothes covered in dirt, as if she had been outside. Each time, the box was inexplicably on her bedside table, no matter where she had hidden it. Desperate for answers, Emily consulted Father Andrews, the local priest. The moment his eyes landed on the box, he turned pale. "This is no ordinary artifact," he whispered. "These are binding sigils for something dark, something that should never have been unearthed. You need to destroy it." But Emily, driven by an insatiable curiosity, refused. That night, she set up a camera in her bedroom, determined to uncover the truth. The next morning, she reviewed the footage and froze in horror. At exactly 3:13 a.m., she sat upright in bed, her eyes black as coal. In a deep, guttural voice that wasn't hers, she whispered, "I am Malphas, and this vessel is mine." Terrified, she called Father Andrews, who arrived armed with holy water and a crucifix. The moment he entered the house, the temperature plummeted. As he began to pray, Emily let out an ear-piercing scream. Her body convulsed violently, and her voice, now layered with unearthly growls, taunted him. "You cannot save her! She is already mine!" The walls of the house trembled, and unseen forces hurled objects across the room. Father Andrews pressed on, reciting the rites of exorcism with trembling hands. Emily's body levitated, her limbs contorting unnaturally. She laughed, a chilling, echoing sound that didn't belong to her. "Do you think your faith can stand against me?" the demon sneered. Hours passed, each prayer seeming to weaken the entity. Finally, with one last desperate cry, Father Andrews shouted, "In the name of God, I command you to leave this vessel." Emily let out a guttural roar, and a black, smoky figure erupted from her mouth, swirling violently before vanishing into the air. Emily collapsed, unconscious, but alive. Father Andrews carried her outside, the sunlight breaking the oppressive darkness. When she awoke, her memory of the possession was hazy, but the terror lingered. She begged the priest to destroy the box. Together they buried it deep in the woods and consecrated the ground. But late that night, as Emily tried to sleep, she heard a familiar whisper. "I'm not done with you yet."